Winter is coming, and with it comes bugs, sickness and diseases, all things that we hate. But the reality is we're going to get it and we need to train. My name's James, I'm a personal trainer from empoweringpt.co.uk, and today I'm going to be talking to you about whether you should be training when you're ill or not. So as you can probably tell, I'm full of cold. Cue convenient cough. Now everybody reacts to illness differently. Now obviously if you're severely ill, if you're firing out both ends, you should not be training at all. Okay, if you're severely ill, you should be getting in your fluids and you should just be trying to recover. Okay, but when it comes down to more of a common cold, it differs. Everybody reacts differently. Some people get it really badly, some people end up in bed for weeks, some people are fine. Some people can carry on with their day-to-day lives, go to work and train as normal. And this is more of a personal decision, really. It depends how you react. Now, with decent nutrition and training, people generally tend to be better at handling colds and flu and so on, and they tend to recover a little bit quicker. My missus has had this cold for the last week and she's still getting over it. Whereas me, I've had it for a few days now and I'm already getting over it. So everybody's just this little bit different. Ultimately, it is your decision. If you feel that you are healthy enough, that you can maximize the time in the gym still and that your energy isn't really depleted, then go for it. Train, you know, if you're doing your sport, if you're doing your martial arts and you want to train through a cold and you feel like you can do it or you can still learn something that you can focus, then brilliant, go for it. Yeah, don't hold back. Don't use it as an excuse not to train. However, if your energy is depleted, if you feel really rough and that you just can't maximize the workout or your training, that you haven't got the focus, then frankly, it is a health risk as well. You don't want to be squatting 200 kilograms on your back while you're sniveling, okay? Remember, you need to be able to breathe properly when you're training as well. And this isn't just when you're doing your martial arts or any sport, but if you're training with a significant amount of weight, remember that your breathing contributes quite significantly to the amount that you're lifting and your technique. If you're struggling to breathe and you're sniveling and coughing all over the place, then you could end up having a weak core and that could cause you to collapse with either your deadlifts, your squats, your bench press, things like that, particularly if you're under a heavy weight. Now this may mean that instead you want to decrease the weights and have more of a deload week or use some light weights instead of the heavy weights for a change and rep out instead. This way, you don't expend as much energy and put as much of that risk on yourself when you're lifting the heavy weights. And you can still train quite well. You can focus more on endurance and get a little bit more of a pump. However, if you do need to take time off, up to a week for example, okay, many people don't really tend to have a cold for much longer than a week. So really, you should only be looking to have about a week off. But what you can do is treat this as a deload week. Instead, you're allowing your body to not only recover from that illness, but to recover from consistent training as well. So what happens is sometimes people come back from an illness or a cold, holiday, something like that, and they feel that they're stronger, more flexible, that they're better. And this is because they've allowed themselves to recuperate. Their body has had time to replenish its energy, to rebuild muscle, rather than constantly breaking it down. So, you know, having that week off or a few days away from training isn't necessarily a bad thing. Now, your health isn't just the only contributing factor as to whether you should be training or not, or going to your local club or anything like that, doing your sports and your hobbies. Okay, you've got to think about your lifestyle as well. You know, are you going to be able to fit it in practically between work, picking up the kids, things like that, other hobbies and sports? Okay. Well, you're going to run out of energy really quickly, okay? Our bodies are consuming more energy to try and combat this illness and to survive, essentially. What you don't want to do is end up running out of energy and thinking, yeah, I'm definitely going to go to the gym. And then before you get there, you've just got no energy at all. You need to be realistic with yourself. For example, I'm self-employed. I don't get sick days, okay? If I don't go to work, I don't get paid. It's pure and simple, really. And a lot of people live a similar lifestyle. So instead, you're going to prioritize your work. Whereas if you do get sick pay, and let's face it, you don't take it off particularly often, then you'll be more willing to have those days off, in which case you might be able to push yourself to continue to go to the gym and train, go to your martial arts club, or you'll go and play football, or whatever it is that you enjoy. But in most situations, really, if you want to be going to work, you need to fulfill these obligations, such as picking up the kids from school, dropping them off, taking them to clubs here and there, that kind of thing. And if your work is physically active, for example, I'm constantly cycling around to and from clubs, health clubs, doing, training people for karate, doing work with schools and classes, as well as personal training. I'm constantly being active, demonstrating exercises, keeping active, and I'm cycling to and from all of these places. So personally, I don't have the energy when I'm ill. I'd rather put the energy I do have into my business and make sure that I'm financially stable, rather than having to have a week off and cancel absolutely everything just so I can work out or recover. So ultimately, this is a very personal thing. You just have to decide for you whether it's worth it or not. You weigh up the pros and cons and see how you feel. There is nothing wrong, and you should not feel guilty if you think at the beginning of the day, okay, I can push it, I can go to work, and I can go to the gym as well. And then 5 o'clock hits and you think, damn it, I'm too tired, I can't go. That's fine, there's nothing wrong with that. Instead, go back, go have a hearty meal, get some energy in you, consume slightly more calories than you would normally just to help combat that cold, and you'll be fine. Like I said, in the long run, it'll act as a deload, and it might even help you to come back stronger than ever. So hopefully that's helped you consider as to whether you should be training or not, especially as we're heading towards winter. If you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, links just down below. You can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you next time.